Alright, isang mapagpalang araw sa inyong lahat. Ito, ambulansya magre-rescue sa loob ng compound na Mugdinis Drive. Bakit hindi padaanin ambulansya naman yun? Para antala yung kanilang pag-rescue. Napakahirap yun. Ambulansya po yan, bakit hindi mo padaanin?
Pero wag nyo kaming mabalakag, bibigyan ng kirkas at ihaharas nyo kami. Dahil kami, kahit wala kaming kalaban-laban, mapipilatan kaming bumaban sa inyo. At ito ay magiging worldwide, international issue ito. Lalo ako, isang matanda na naka-wheelchair. Pag ako ay dinumog nyo dito, ay talaga, mark my word, ilalaban ko itong wheelchair sa mukha nyo.
Alright, so yung crane, isa sa mga nakabalandra doon sa daan. Pag-aari umano ni Pastor Tibuloy. Nagpis ka. Impound na ng AMP. My goodness.
Na yung mga kapulisan po natin po mga lalaki po sa mga KOGC members.
So, marami na pong lumalabas na misinformation, particularly sa isang network dyan. Ayoko na lang banggitin, but I'm sure alam niyo po kung saan po itong network po na ito. Na alam niyo naman po kung sino po yung may-ere ng mga misinformation po. And I don't need to say, but parang wala naman po dito. Anyway po, to set the record straight po, hindi po PNP ang nagsimula po ng gulo. Yung claim po nila, first day pa lang po tayo na pumasok doon na tahimik at nakiusap na payagan na tayong lumabas. Claim kagad nila, 7 ang namatay, maraming sugatan, but until now, wala po silang napapakita na 7 o 8 bangkay, except for 1 po, na hindi naman po ito direktang resulta ng pagpasok po natin. Yung tao po na namatay sa heart attack ay 4 na araw na nakaposte doon sa mga watchtower na inilagay nila. Napakarami po itong watchtower na nilagay po nila at dinudokumento lang po natin lahat at ipapakita natin yan in due time, pati po yung mga pulis natin na nasaktan, lalo po kagabi, may putok po na ulo na pulis po natin, may basag ang Lowe's Bridge, marami pong galos, maraming sugat sa paa at sa kamay. Hindi po tayo ang nagsimula ng gulo. In fact, kung mapapansin niyo, hindi nang huli ang ating kapulisan kahapon dahil
purely a police operation. No? Ako, I only supervise, but with reference to operations, etc., it's purely a police one. And it is based on intelligence report, on compiled intelligence.
So may pinaplano sila sa kwano?
Nakikiusap po kami.
Gayon ang tawharan ug gamiton lamang ang pwersa nga hamon sa sitwasyon. Ug diya kitakaroon
Makita na itong aming aksyon ng atong kapulisan. Aron hawano ng kadalanan. Makita na itong doon mga ginapas. Sapling ang ginito.
President Rodrigo Duterte has called on Filipinos to pray for peace and justice as he criticized the police for what he called its abuse of authority and ignoring people's rights in its ongoing search for televangelist and Kingdom of Jesus Christ leader Apollo Kibuloy at the group's 30-hectare compound in Davao City. In his statement, Duterte who is the designated administrator of Kingdom of Jesus Christ's frozen assets, denounced how the Philippine National Police, through Davao Region Police Chief Brigadier General Nicolas Torre III, forced their way into the compound, which supposedly led to the death of one of its members and injury to others. However, the police said the alleged victim died of fatigue. Duterte added that he sympathizes with the members of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ for having become victims of political harassment, persecution, violence, and abuse of authority. The former president appealed to who he called remaining decent and patriotic government workers not to allow themselves to be used to be abusive and violent in enforcing illegal orders. Duterte also asked the current administration how it can preserve the constitutional rights when even the fundamental rights of Filipinos are being violated. However, some House lawmakers criticized Duterte's statement. Manila Representative and Human Rights Committee Chair Bienvenido Abante Jr. called Duterte's actions in defending Kibuloy's rights as ironic, while the former president attached very little value to human rights during his administration's war on illegal drugs. Meanwhile, Vice President Sara Duterte also condemned what she called gross abuse of police power in the ongoing search for Kibuloy in Davao City. In a statement, the Vice President apologized to members of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ for seeking their support for President Bongbong Marcos, who was her running mate in the 2022 elections. Sara Duterte added that Filipinos deserve better. However, the Vice President clarified that she was not opposed to the implementation of any lawful warrant of arrest, but she emphasized that the use of violence against the innocent Filipinos and devotees of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ was unacceptable. The Vice President also wondered if the unnecessary force and unjustifiable abuse on ordinary Filipinos was due to the fact that the person of interest in the raid was a well-known supporter of her family.
Pilitan kaming gamitin ang maayos na pwersa upang ipatupad ang batas at alisin ang mga hanggang sa daanan. Pakipagtulungan po kayo para maiwasan na anumang hindi kanais-nais na insidente. Hinihikayat namin kayong sumunod sa utos para sa kaligtasan ng lahat. Inuulit ko po, ito po ang pangalawang pangala mula sa otoridad. Kayo po ay binibigyan ng 5 minuto upang mag-disperse.
Court, ano na? Laglag.
You know, I understand the IMLF has come in to support the people of Davao, okay? And I applaud the MNLF for doing this. Now, as I see it, what this government is doing is very, very dangerous, because if the PNP clashes, God forbid, with the MNLF, there are going to be, I foresee, a lot of consequences. First of all, it will inflame the Moros in Mindanao. Secondly, what would be the reaction of our Islamic neighbors like Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, in case the MNLF, you know, is harmed? Thirdly, what will be the reaction of the Arab countries, Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, on which we depend on our oil? My guess is that if something untoward happens with the MNLF, we will lose all these countries who will condemn this government. So, you know, there are a lot of possible consequences if this government and its forces clash with the MNLF. And I hope they are not that stupid to do that. Because you remember during the time of Ferdinand Edralin Marcos, we had a long war in Mindanao. And to Tripoli to negotiate with Gaddafi, whom everybody knew was funding our Moro friends. So, you know, there is one thing we have to be very careful, and that is that Islamic countries tend to band together when their Islamic brothers are affected. And this is something that I don't think this government understands. Now, the MNLF, and I applaud them for this, is right to come and protect their brothers in Davao. Because what this government is doing is clearly an use of power and has used excessive force against a single individual, harming the whole kingdom of Jesus Christ, worshippers there, as well as the people of Davao. This is also another thing that they have to bear in mind. And that is when you desecrate a place of worship of God, whether it be a mosque or a synagogue or a church or the kingdom of Jesus Christ, the wrath of God will fall on your head. And I can tell you, I see this going to happen. Anyway, these are just my few observations. And I call on the people of the Philippines to wake up and see the evil that is in those who are running this government. As Senator Amy Marcos said once when she prayed for her brother, he said, to protect him from the demons in the palace. There are many demons in the palace. And I'm sorry to say they have captured Bongbong Marcos.